Good morning, guys. We just woke up. I just grabbed some 32 ounces of water, already took my cold shower, already swallowed my salt to get hydrated for the morning. But now I'm just coming out here, getting my feet on the ground. It helps me start off my morning, helps me feel calm and energetic as well. Unfortunately, at 6:30 a.m., the sun doesn't rise anymore. It did a couple months ago, but I can't get sun right now. Ideally, I would, but now I just have to come out first thing when it rises, get some sunlight on the eyes to help the circadian rhythm reset. Yeah, basically, this morning routine has helped me so much in the past couple months, not only achieve really high productivity, but also it's helped me just become a better cyclist and person in life in general. And I think that a morning routine is one of the most important parts of your day because it sets up the tone for the rest of the day. I remember when I used to wake up, yeah, I'd wake up at 7 or 8, decently early, and then I'd lay there for 2 hours on my phone and I wouldn't get out of bed until 10 a.m. And I pretty much I did. I completely threw 2 hours away of my life, not doing anything that I care about today. And then I would get up and I'd feel terrible about it because I knew that I was doing something I shouldn't be doing, but I wanted to be comfortable and I wanted the cheap dopamine. And yeah, when I used to do that, it would just set my days up for just not success. I would feel terrible all day. I would not be very productive. And then, yeah, my ride would often suffer because of that. So now that I've implemented my morning routine, I mean, guys, this has felt every time I wake up, I feel energized, I feel happy, I feel ready to go attack the day. And most importantly, I feel productive. And the ride that I go on for the day, I always feel great and I'm always excited for that ride. And it's just a great way to start your day. I have found that it really helps to get up early, but also have a routine set in stone so that you can go through those motions every single morning. Your body gets used to it and you almost get into like a flow state every single morning because you're just going through those tasks that you know you're going to do for that morning. But yeah, anyways, guys, I'm going to keep sipping on this water, but today we've got a lot of stuff planned. I've got a VO2 max test. And then right after that, I'm moving in to my new apartment in Bloomington because school starts up again. And then after that, I'm going to try to get a ride in today. And then, yeah, hopefully we can get the apartment completely set up. And I'm going to have to go get some groceries as well. So let's go do it. So it's now 10 a.m. Normally, this is when I like to have my breakfast, especially if my training session is later in the day. But as you guys know, I have my VO2 max test in 1 hour. I have it at 11 a.m. And on top of that, I'm also getting a resting metabolic rate test and a body composition scan. So I have to go in fasted, which is going to be interesting for the VO2 max test, but I'm sure that's how it works or they've done it before. But anyways, right now, since I don't have a ride this morning and I can't eat, I've just been working on a couple systems and documents for my elite clients. Right now, I'm just making some documents on bike fueling and how they can build their bottles specifically for each type of ride they do and how they know how many carbs, how much sodium, and the type of carbs they should be consuming on each type of ride. And guys, that's something I just want to talk about. It is so important to understand on the bike fueling because number one, if you're under fueling, you're going to bonk, but you're also going to destroy your recovery and you're going to go into the next day with the depleted glycogen stores, which is going to mess up multiple rides in the days coming if you really go into the red zone in terms of glycogen stores. And then number two is if you don't know which type of carb to fuel with, it's going to hurt your ride. So, for example, if you're doing a very high intensity VO2 workout, but you're fueling with carbohydrates that are extremely high in fiber, and maybe you're even fueling with maybe you're fueling with something that's like terrible for you, like a granola bar, which has a ton of fat in there. and other ingredients that are going to mess up your gut and is going to blunt absorption, that eating that food is going to hurt your workout so much because your body needs fast digesting carbohydrates to fuel these high intensity workouts. And when you're eating these slow digesting, nutrient absorption blunting foods, your muscles aren't going to get the energy they need. So you're going to feel terrible during your workout. And then you're going to have a terrible workout. And we don't want to do that. So I'm building this out so they understand what type of carbs they need to fuel with, how much they need to fuel with, and the timing so they can make sure that their glycogen stores are always topped off and that they're never dipping into the red zone and they're never even getting close to bonking. All right, guys, so it's time for the VO2 max test. We just drove here. I'm going to do a little bit of predictions myself for it. My Garmin right now, I don't know if you can see, but it's estimating 67. So normally it fluctuates in between 65 and 70. But I think I'm taking the over. I'm taking 75. That's what I think I'm going to get. But basically, the reason I'm doing this VO2 max test is just to be able to understand my body in a better way. And then also, I'm going to start testing this more frequently so I can understand the effect that my way of training and nutrition has on my VO2 max so I can make adjustments to help my training improve even more and help me get better quicker. Because the goal for cycling is you want to do the least amount of training but get the most return. So you don't want to do 25 hours a week on the bike just to barely progress. You want to do 10 hours a week on the bike and progress a ton. That is the goal. You want to be as efficient and as effective as possible. So I'm still fasted right now, so I brought some food in my backpack because maybe they're gonna let me eat before the VO2 max test because I have to be fasted for the resting metabolic rate test and the body composition test. But yeah, I'm gonna be interested to see how this goes. I'll try to get some clips in there for you guys. But leave a comment to what you think my VO2 max is gonna be, and if you think Garmin is gonna be accurate or inaccurate. So I will see you guys in there, or I'll see you after. I look down my road, so I never fall in love again. Holy boys. We're done with the VO2 test and we're done with the body composition test. A little bit of a miscommunication on my side. I thought I had to be fasted for a resting metabolic rate test. But it turns out that I actually wasn't doing that. So I showed up fasted to do the VO2 max test, which was a bit interesting. But we got the data, so a couple things. I weighed in at 160 pounds, 12.1% body fat. So pretty much I'm shredded. And then for the number you guys all want to know, the VO2 max, my Garmin predicts 67. My actual VO2 max is 70.3. So pretty much 70 right on the dot. We've got a lot of room for improvement on that. But a couple other things I just want to talk about. First of all, I went to VQ Labs. Awesome place. Really good information. But a couple things. I went in there like not even like knowing what I was getting myself into. First of all, now I know. So next time I go back, which is probably in like 4 months, I'm going to know like what to bring and how to prepare. But the numbers they gave me are actually super beneficial. So like number one, I figured out how many watts at which watts I'm clearing the most lactic acid. So now I know how to recover as efficiently as possible. I also know at what watts, how much carbs versus how much fat in terms of grams I'm burning per hour. And then I also know my lactic threshold number on the dot. No more estimate from Strava and an FTP because, I mean, FTP is a very good indicator, but there's many different ways that you can get way more accuracy. So now I have those numbers. I think I actually have a couple other. There was a lot of numbers that I got thrown at. Let's see. Yeah, so now, like I said, VO2 max 30. My lactic threshold, we have that number now. And then we have my zone 2 number. And then we also have my available glycogen in my body. So my body stores 472 grams of glycogen. So that means I have to, like, that's how much I have of emergency reserves, I guess. So yeah, I got a ton of numbers and I get a big giant report in 2 days. So I'll definitely share those on my Instagram. But super beneficial. The test was awesome. I'm super excited to start actually tailoring my workouts to my body now, because now I understand, like, I actually understand my body. Like Strava and like all the other methods, like, yeah, they're pretty good at like estimating it, but now I like actually know. And everybody's body is different. So those formulas, like if you're an outlier in some different aspect, those formulas don't really work for you. So yeah, super happy with that. And now we're gonna go move in to my apartment for this upcoming school year. And I also got this I don't know, this guy gave me this coffee, Rip Cold Brew, original black. It's just water and coffee. Um 270 milligrams of caffeine in there. So we're gonna have to pop this on a good training day. But I'm super excited, guys. I mean, this just gave me so much more motivation to lock in my training and continue to improve faster and more efficiently. I was already improving, like, in my opinion, at a very fast and efficient rate. And now I think I'm going to be able to take it up to the next notch. So, yeah, anyways, let's go pack the car and get to Bloomington. So, I just cooked up this beautiful meal, last meal at home before I go back to Bloomington. 3 things in my meal: sweet potatoes, ground beef, and then I had some watermelon, but I ate it all off camera because I was super hungry. Um, but this is the reason I was able to progress so quick as a cyclist, is because my meals are not only whole foods, they're also the most micronutrient dense foods in the world and the most bioavailable forms of those foods. So ground beef, the only proteins that I eat in my diet, it's just a way of eating. It's not a diet. I literally can have as much food as I want. And I just tested at 12.1% body fat, which is literally shredded according to the guy. So diet. But anyways, the only proteins that I eat are literally from the list of top 5 most bioavailable proteins for your body. So you have to make sure that you're getting not only enough protein and other macro and micronutrients like carbs and fat, but that you're getting good quality of it. Because if you take 30 grams of protein from something like beef, and then you take 30 grams of protein from like a plant-based source, the bioavailability of beef compared to that plant is double. So you're pretty much getting double the amount of protein. So you have to make sure that the food that you are eating is the best quality, because what happens is if you don't, your body's not going to absorb as much of it. And then you think you're getting more than you actually are. And you're going to have huge deficiencies in your nutrients. And as high performing athletes that cyclists are doing multiple hours of activities every single week, we have to treat our bodies and we have to fuel with the best possible fuel if we want the best possible progress. If you want slow progress, you can eat your McDonald's, you can eat your Snickerdoodle candy bar, you can eat whatever you want, but don't get mad when you progress 5 times slower than I do, even though you're doing 25 hours a week on the bike and I'm doing 10. And this tastes way better. Time to go to Bloomington though. Let's go, baby. We're finally on the road. We got 1 hour until we get to Bloomington. As you can see, though, we're in the minivan, absolutely full to the brim with stuff, a lot of decorative stuff for the people that I'm living with, because I'm pretty much in charge of the decorative stuff. But anyways, I just want to talk about this upcoming year, my plans for it. Obviously, we're going to be locked in. Progress is going to be even quicker than it's ever been before. And I mean, last year at this time, I was locked in, but I had way more room for growth. I could have done a lot more things. This year, we're going all in 100%. We're going to be locked in. we're getting out of the comfort zone and we are going to grow a lot. So I'm going to be trying a lot of things on the bike, making sure I hone in on the most effective and efficient way to become a better cyclist, because at the end of the day, that's what we all want to be. We want to feel better on the bike, perform better on the bike, and look better on the bike. So this year I'm going to be focusing on that, and I'm going to be focusing on helping my elite clients, progress alongside of me and making sure that they have all the same resources, all the information that I've learned over my past 23 months being a cyclist. So yeah, I will see you guys in 1 hour when we are unloading into the new apartment in Bloomington. Guys, we made it to the crib. Cameraman's back. Let's go, boys. We made it. Let's get a quick tour. Haven't fully moved in, but we already got cameraman's bike, new bike, so show him some love. Got moved in my bike and the Batmobile. This is our kitchen. That's our other roommate's room, cameraman's room right there. But this is my room so far. I'm going to do a cool before and after once I get everything unpacked. But we got the essentials, a mirror. Actually, that's not essential. Cast iron pan, 13 pounds of sodium bicarbonate. Hold on, right here. This is 50 pounds of organic cane sugar. We just got some new bottles, 1 liter. Oh, 3 pounds of salt. But yeah, I'm going to get this unpacked and then we're going to do a fire edit out of it. And it's going to be fire. Oh yeah, this is my bathroom too. I think my bike fits in here, so if it ever gets muddy, I can just shower it off. It's just cooked up the first meal in the new crib. We got a steak. Unfortunately, I already ate the blueberries and sweet potatoes because I was so hungry. But guys, I want to show you one more thing. Right there, the water drop. We got the reverse osmosis set up. That was the first thing we did. We can't be drinking any of this estrogenic water and turning it into a different gender, just like the fish did in the studies. So the room is a work in progress right now. We're going to have the edit. The edit is going to be coming soon. So I got to go finish that, and then I'll get you guys a review before I go to bed tonight, because it's already like 9 p.m. So we got a lot of shit to do. Guys, the moment you've all been waiting for, D28. It should say SterchCycles, but it says my name right now. We'll get that changed later. Here we go. We got the desk right here. Put some LED lights so I'm going to be able to lock in. Also put some in the bathroom, so when I take my cold shower in the morning, I'll be in the red light. Got the couch. Blackout curtains. This is extremely important so I can go to bed with no light in my eyes. Mountain Valley water. This is my bed. Nothing special. We got my bike, and then we also have a whiteboard right here. Going to be writing some crazy stuff on there. And then my closet. We got all the bottles. Got the sugar, the salt, the magnesium, and the cane sugar down there. But let me know if you need, if you have any suggestions for my room, what I should add to it, because right now it's kind of plain. I got no decorations on the wall besides a whiteboard. So let me know what I should add to this place. I feel like I need something right here. Now that you guys have seen my room, you should know that I prioritize one thing when it comes to my room, and that is creating a space and environment that promotes not only a productive lifestyle and a locked-in lifestyle in relation to cycling, but also just a locked-in lifestyle that is going to make me feel better and be happier and be able to get more things done in life. Like, obviously, we got the blackout curtains. That's so when I'm sleeping, there's no light coming into my room, and you actually sleep deeper when there's no light shining onto your eyes, even when your eyes are closed. If there's light going onto it, like if you're asleep and your eyes are closed but there's light, a little bit of light, that is going to affect your sleep. So we have that locked in. We got the whiteboard there. I'm going to be writing pretty much like my daily plan of attack. That's extremely productive. And then over here, we got some books because I read before every single night when I go to bed. That's how I get myself to calm down, get ready to go to bed. And that's how I'm able to fall asleep literally in 5 minutes when my head hits the pillow at 10 p.m. when I go to bed. But like some other things, like, you saw my closet. I have all my routines pretty much put into order in my closet. So right in the morning, I get my salt. So I have my salt on the left for the morning. And then I have all my stuff that I use to make my bottles in the middle, because normally I ride during the middle of the day. And then in the night, I have my honey and also my magnesium that I take right before I go to bed. And then in the bathroom, I know you guys can't see right now, but I also added an LED strip so I can shower in the red light instead of first thing in the morning. I'm blasting my eyes with light like this because I'm probably going to be getting up before the sun rises, and I don't want my eyes, the first thing they have to see is some fluorescent lighting. But anyways, guys, having your room set up for productivity and just like efficiency in general is very important when it comes to life, because if you're in an environment and you live in an environment and spend lots of time in an environment that isn't built around productivity and being efficient and getting stuff done and like being dialed in, your life isn't going to reflect being dialed in, and you're not going to be able to be dialed in because let's say like, oh, maybe I put a TV in here. When I get on my couch, I could just grab the remote and turn on the TV and just watch that for 2 hours and instead of riding. Like this room is specifically designed for productivity, and I make it so that all the things in here are going to make me want to be productive. Again, I could have put an Xbox in here, but that's just going to make me want to play video games, and I don't really care about being a pro Fortnite player in 2 years from now. So I didn't put that in there because I know that's just going to take away from my time that I could be spending figuring out how to become a better cyclist and making myself a better cyclist. But yeah, this is my room. I got my VO2 max tested, and obviously you guys saw it was 70. I'm gonna do some more like detailed talking on that. I actually think it was really beneficial. It gave me some really good numbers, like what my absolute lactic or anaerobic or threshold number is, like when to do my sweet spots at. I have an exact number for that. I also know how many watts I'm clearing the most lactic acid at. So that is really cool because now I know the most efficient wattage to recover at. And yeah, so hope you guys like this day. It was definitely a crazy day, lots of stuff going on. The miscommunication with the VO2 max was crazy. But anyways, I will see you guys in the next one. Let me know what you want to see a vlog on, like what type of day I'm doing. If you want to see a long zone 2 ride or another workout or something else like a recovery day, let me know and I will definitely get those in. Peace.